That's right! Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for Ringside. Got a bunch of news lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, we're just gonna whack! Some of the people at WWE Fightful Select spoke to about The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes situation believe that The Rock not only pushed for a WrestleMania match against Reigns, but was also pushing to win the match. Why? Why would he do that? Why would he push to win the match? That doesn't make any sense. Why would someone who has not been in the company for years all of a sudden show back up and say to themselves, not even say to themselves, say out loud, I'm going to be the next, I would like to be the next champion. I would like to win. This match, this storyline that you've been planning for, man, the last 3 years, the last year, we'll say, the Cody Rhodes crux of it, the last year, well, I don't care about that. I want to win. This is mine. This is mine now. It's giving Hogan. It's giving, we've been building this guy up for months, for almost a year now, and nobody seems to beat him. And now Hogan shows up randomly and just drops him like a bad habit. And now he's the new champion. And I don't like that, and it doesn't make any sense. And I'm still confused as to why this decision happened. We will get into that later on into the episode. But for right now, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I know what I said previously, where I was like, Rock, Roman, that'd be a great match. A lot of people would want to see it. I was very adamant that I did not want The Rock to be the champion. That sounds like what he's trying to do, and that is a terrible idea, and I'm hoping that this is nothing more than a rumor, and they don't actually go through with it. I'm begging on the top of the mountain, okay, to whoever is listening, that The Rock does not become the next WWE champion. Next, plans as of Saturday called for Cody to challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania per PW Insider. While they emphasize they haven't heard this is the plan, the Insider did hear about people at WWE, quote, openly talking about the idea of Cody winning the World Heavyweight Championship and then challenging the winner of Roman vs. Rock for SummerSlam in a title unification bout. While they emphasize they haven't heard this is the plan, Insider heard people at WWE talking about the idea Cody winning the World Heavyweight Championship, then unifying the titles. Huh? Why? Again, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, why? Why would he do that? The whole entire point, the whole entire origin of the World Heavyweight Championship is the fact that Roman was just not gonna lose. Everyone and their grandmother called it a consolation prize, and now Cody is going to take the consolation prize away. Now, I'll say this. At the very least, I would be able to confidently say that Cody would be a fighting champion, right? I wouldn't expect Cody to not be in a bunch of different championship matches. The same thing with Roman, though, he's not going to lose. Why would you do that? Why would you unify the titles and effectively make the entire run of the World Heavyweight Championship completely useless? If you're going to do the exact same thing that happened to the other World Heavyweight Championship last time, it makes the entire thing completely useless. That's why I'm hoping that this is not something that they're going to do. The same thing about The Rock winning. I am hoping that this is nothing more than a rumor, and they're not going to actually do this because the same thing with The Rock. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Okay? There's no reason why the titles need to be unified. I think the World Heavyweight Championship has been doing perfectly fine on its own. I think Seth Rollins has been a fantastic champion, and to unify the titles would completely nullify the run that Seth Rollins was on, because it would take away the World Heavyweight Championship, and we'd be back to one title, and then WWE would have to try harder. Well, not try harder, but they pretty much have to be going back to working very hard to making the United States and the Intercontinental titles worthy titles, which they have been doing, which they have done, but they have to put their foot on the gas a little bit more because the World Heavyweight Championship would have or might be gone. So, with all that being said, I'm hoping that that's not actually going to be the case. Sticking with WWE, asked about WWE changing course on Rock Reigns' plans in light of the internet backlash, PW Insider's Mike Johnson replied that he knows WWE is, quote, absolutely monitoring the response online of WWE stars like Logan Paul and Ricochet getting in on the hashtag #WeWantCody trend. Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer posted on X, quote, don't think people in the company tweeting with that hashtag is anything but an angle. He added in F4W Online's daily update that, quote, obviously the idea is to recreate the Daniel Bryan situation at this point. Oh, man, what a day. Hey, so, you know how the Daniel Bryan situation came to be? It came to be because it was organic. Because Vince McMahon genuinely did not want Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania 30. And it was only because of the fans that Daniel Bryan was pretty much pushed in between Batista and Randy Orton. Cody and Roman was always going to happen. I don't care what you say. That was pretty much the writing on the wall since Cody won the Royal Rumble last year. And it seems like that's what was going to happen this year. And now all of a sudden The Rock has come in and he's completely ripped the rug from underneath Cody. And now all of a sudden, we're supposed to, why would you think that I'm supposed to believe that this is supposed to be some sort of, it's just like when Daniel Bryan wouldn't be in the main event. Daniel Bryan wasn't even allowed anywhere near the main event. Like, at all. At all. Cody Rhodes has proven time and time again that he should be and has been and will always be in the main event. And I'm supposed to sit here and go, oh yeah, that makes sense that Cody Rhodes is just being kicked out of the main event. He's a B+ player. He doesn't look like a main event guy. That's not the case anymore. And it hasn't been the case because last time I checked, he's already main evented WrestleMania. So, trying to get this weird trying to make this artificial, uproar about how Cody's not in the main event doesn't make any sense because everyone was already under the assumption that he was going to be in the main event. And you took him out of the main event for no reason. So, I don't understand what is going on here. That's what I'm saying. I hope you don't think that I'm some just dunderhead and I just was not noticing what's been going on for the last 9, 10, 11 months. So I don't understand what I get the hashtag we want Cody. I get that. I mean, that's probably the most organic thing about this. Apparently WWE is looking at this and apparently this is an angle. I don't know why this is an angle. You shouldn't have taken Cody out of the main event. Unless that's the entire plan here, which again, doesn't make any sense. Next, Fightful and PW Insider reports both mention that former WWE writer and longtime Rock collaborator Brian Garwitz will help work on creative for Rock's WrestleMania program, including being at big shows during the build. Insider says Garwitz, quote, could even be there as a plan B if Endeavor ever needs to pivot WWE's direction and go with a Dwayne Johnson-backed creative team down the line. For his part, on Sunday evening, Garwitz posted a clip of the crowd's reaction to Cody's intro for The Rock from SmackDown with the caption, quote, you all have no idea. Hashtag WrestleMania. Okay. I'm hoping that the you all have no idea thing is positive, because maybe that means, so here's my theory. I think what they're trying to do with the whole Daniel Bryan thing, turn into a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they are trying to artificialize, if that's even a word, the Daniel Bryan storyline here. They're trying to make it seem like WWE doesn't want Cody in the main event, and then they're going to push Cody back into the main event at the last second, turn it into a triple threat match, and that's how Cody's going to win. Fine. If that is the end goal, fine. A bit odd how we got there, but you know what? The destination is the destination, and I'm not going to complain. The fact that we're there, I mean, man, that's a miracle in and of itself. That's what I'm assuming here. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm trying to manifest with my thoughts and my being and my big ass forehead, right? That you all have no idea is some type of tease to what could potentially happen here, right? Garwitz could even be there as a plan B if Endeavor needs to pivot WWE's direction and go with a Dwayne Johnson-backed creative team. For what? What do you mean a Dwayne Johnson-backed creative team? To do what? When he becomes the champion? I assume it's going to be like The Rock again. I assume it's going to be like Roman Reigns, where he's barely there. So, is he not doing any movies then? Is he not doing the UFL? Because, I don't know if you know this, you kind of need to be full-time when you're, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have obviously shown, well, no, because you're doing movies and you go into meetings and all that sort of stuff. That's why I keep saying the UFL and the he's a board member for, and then he's a movie star and all that stuff. You kind of need to be, I would say relatively full-time, especially if you're the champion. You can't just not be there. And if anything, if I could go way back in time, that was John Cena's argument, was that he was never here. He still wasn't here. And now all of a sudden he's going to be the champion? That doesn't make any sense. And now he's getting back to creative teams? For what? To do what? He's not going to be here. I hope he's not going to be here. I don't want The Rock to be the WWE champion. I don't want Cody Rhodes to unify the World Heavyweight Championship, WWE Championship belts. That doesn't make any sense. So again, I am trying to manifest that there's going to be a triple threat match, Rock, Cody, Roman at WrestleMania, and Cody Rhodes wins. That's what I'm hoping. I am praying to God that The Rock does not win. Finally, WWE will tape the February 23rd episode of SmackDown after February 16th live one in Salt Lake City, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. That's because everyone will already be in Australia for Elimination Chamber on the 23rd. The last time they did this, the crowd was absolutely dead. And a lot of people were confused as to why. And only a handful of people knew that it was because they pretty much did a double taping. So I only want to talk about this mainly because I don't want people to watch the 23rd episode of SmackDown and be like, why does everyone look like they would like to be thrown in a cauldron of boiling water? You know? Man, I'm so glad that it's SmackDown and not 6 hours of Monday Night Raw. I don't know how the show's going to go. I'm very curious as to the layout of the show because, I mean, that's 4 hours. Either way, that's 4 hours of trying to have the crowd be relatively energized the entire time. And I'm hoping that both shows aren't just action-packed, because by the time the show's over, everybody in the crowd is going to need to be like scooped up with a big shovel, okay, and put into a black plastic bag. So I'm curious as to what the show's going to be for both, just outright, right? Because, you know, we're building to Elimination Chamber. And, man, I'm assuming that The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are probably going to be floating around, more than likely. Naomi's probably going to be around there somewhere as well. So expect a lot, but hopefully not too much. What do we talk about? It wouldn't make any sense for The Rock to become the WWE champion. I don't understand why The Rock would be seeing everything that Cody is doing and the way that the storylines are playing out, and for him to think it's perfectly fine and reasonable to show up unannounced and be like, hey, I'm now in the main event of WrestleMania. That doesn't make any sense. The Locker was shocked by The Rock getting the WrestleMania match with Roman instead of Cody, according to Fightful. Many on the creative team were deflated by the change in plans. Rhodes was said to have been informed of the decision before he got to SmackDown, so at least he was told. So that's good to know, right? Plans as of Saturday called for Cody to challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Don't unify the titles. That doesn't make any sense and defeats the entire purpose of the World Heavyweight Championship in the literal first place. The World Heavyweight Championship was brought back because Roman would not give up the WWE Championship. So now the World Heavyweight Championship is here so that everybody else isn't just floating around and not doing anything. To unify them would completely take away the entire purpose of the entire thing, right? Asked about WWE changing course, PW Insider's Mike Johnson replied that he knows WWE is absolutely monitoring their response, which I would argue lends credence to my theory that I think that they are trying to basically make the Daniel Bryan storyline artificial by making it seem as though Cody Rhodes isn't going to be in the main event, and then at the last second they pull the blindfold of surprise, he's in the main event. There we go. Listen, if that's what's going to happen, fine. I don't care, because as long as Cody Rhodes is the champion and not The Rock, I don't care, right? Former WWE longtime collaborator will help work on creative for Rock's WrestleMania program. Okay, fine. If it's for the WrestleMania program for The Rock, fine. What confuses me is Bergowitz could even be there as a plan B if Endeavor needs to pivot WWE's direction and go with the Dwayne Johnson-backed creative team down the line, implying that he's going to come back, implying that there's going to be more storylines. Not with the championship? Fine. With Roman Reigns? Sure. With somebody else? Okay, sure. Not with the championship. Okay? Listen, I don't hate The Rock, but I hate the main event status that he holds where he can just come in and do whatever he wants and just completely ignores the storylines. That's my argument, okay? Gord's posted a clip. You all have no idea. #WrestleMania. I'm hoping that's a good thing. I'm praying that that's a good thing, okay? Regarding the Vince McMahon sexual abuse allegations, a longtime employee of WWE told Fightful they don't believe the Janelle Grant lawsuit is, quote, the worst of it, as there were bigger settlements than Grant's. That's not good, okay? I don't like talking about this. One industry source Fightful spoke to said they know of more people involved in the McMahon scandal. This person has, quote, been contacted by reporters, attorneys, and the like already, and have indicated that if the additional names involved aren't identified, they'll do it themselves. So we'll have to wait and see how that ends up happening. Hopefully they do identify themselves, and hopefully we don't really need to go any farther with this, right? And finally, WWE will tape the 23rd episode, the February 23rd episode of SmackDown after February 16th live one in Salt Lake City. That's going to be interesting because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm assuming there's a lot that's going to happen. My argument is that the crowd's going to be very tired. Very tired. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens, and the crowd's probably not going to be there energy-wise, and that's, you know, going to deflate a lot of the moments that they potentially have planned. So hopefully they know about this, and nothing crazy is going to happen. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.